Morning, everyone. Welcome to Officers Adda 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia, and I'm here with you for the area of AFB in JAIIB examination. So let's proceed. And this is another class in terms of the series of AFB. Today, I'm going to cover another area of AFB. So let's look forward to the topics there. Okay. Before we proceed, our classes for JAIIB English medium batch has already begun. The first batch had started on July 11th. The second batch has just started on 25th, and we are now coming up with another batch for English medium from 16th of August. So if you haven't enrolled to our batches yet for the subject of AFB in terms of JAIIB, then you can definitely look forward to it. The timings are given here. July 11 has 8 to 9. The other batch, which is just started, it is from 7 to 8, and from 16th of August, new batches coming now. So if you haven't seen the batches yet, let me just tell you what is it. It's about we provide live classes. If you are not able to attend the live class, then you can look forward towards the recorded one. Then with the live class, with the recorded session, you also get ebooks as well as the test series. So you can review our courses as well as the details of it are available along with the study plan for the classes. It's all specified on our website as well as in the app. So kindly go and check it out. All you can do is you can download our app from where you can get additional discount as well. At this point of time, the discounts are going on. All you can do is you can use the code Y541 to avail the discount of up to 78%. So kindly go ahead and check out our website or the app for further details. Okay, so let's move forward and understand the topic that we are dealing with today. The very first question that we're going to deal today is the totals of the debits and the credit balance in the trial balance shall be the same is based upon the money measurement concept, accounting period concept, dual aspect concept, or materiality concept. In this particular area, when we talk about the debit balance and the credit balances being equal, as I told you in the previous class as well, the trial balance is basically a statement. And in this particular statement, what happens is when we provide the debit side and the credit side in such a way that here what happens is all the debits and all the credits turn out to be equal. They will turn out to be equal only when we follow the dual aspect concept. That means all the debits have the equal credits as well. The point is that the total of all debits and the total of all credits will turn out to be equal. It doesn't matter that if one particular debit is there, the same equal credit is there. But because of the exception called the compound entry. In the compound entry, what happens is there is a debit side, there might be two debits, and there can be one credit. So basically, what we do is we total the debits and then we total the credit. So in this case, what happens is the debits and the credits are already given. So in this case, what happens is that all the debits do not have an equal and opposite credit. This is what I've seen in terms of many statements. They just provide it that way. So whenever you see such kind of statements, don't fall for it. It's more about the fact that the total of the debit side will be equal to the total of the credit side. The debit side can have a breakup and even the credit side can have a breakup. So in this case, what will happen is if this is the debit, it can happen is that the credit side might be split into more than one particular entry. So in this case, there is a debit and there's an equal and there's an opposite credit. Total is equal. So this is where the entire dual aspect concept hits in. That if the two accounts are affected from the opposite sides respectively in terms of their total. Now comes the second question. Which of the following will have a debit balance in the trial balance? Among the following, which of the following items will have the debit balance? Is it the return inwards account, input IGST, adjusted purchases, or all of the above? Return inwards accounts means sales return. Whatever we receive back from the customers due to any kind of defects, or maybe not as per their requirement, anything can happen there, right? So this, in this case, this is what is gonna happen, that the particular person will return us the particular thing, whatever the scenario is. So that means that particular good will come back to you, that is the sales return, it will be debited. The second point that comes is input IGST. Input IGST, if we have paid IGST. If we have paid IGST, again, it's an asset for the organization. The organization is going to tell the government that I have paid IGST. I'll be claiming this. So basically it's an asset. And then we have the adjusted purchases, which is basically opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, and this is also shown on the debit side always. So technically all of the above are basically the debit, they all have the debit balances as per the trial balance. So correct answer is D. That is all of the above. These are all either assets or you can say in terms of the sales return, which is basically reversal of the income. So these all have the debit balances. Now comes the next question. The purpose behind preparing the bank reconciliation statement is to correct the cash book, to correct the passbook, to find the reasons behind the differences, and preparing the balance sheet. What is the purpose behind preparing the BRS? When we prepare a BRS, what we do here is there's a fight going on between the cash book and the passbook. Now the cash book says that I have prepared my accounts, as per me the balance is this, and same thing goes with the passbook. So basically what happens is both of these statements are going to fight with each other because they are not equal, and the reasons behind it can be timing differences, number one, it can be timing differences, number two, it can be communication errors, and number three is actually errors. So these three can be the reasons that even if we wanted that the BRS should match, it doesn't match. So we need to find the reasons behind these differences, right? So in this case, the correct answer is C. If you're there in the class, then kindly go ahead and answer these questions. That boosts your confidence even when you are doing the questions, and maybe if there's any doubt, we can definitely work on it together there. So I'll be able to know, and I'll be able to answer as well. So let's move on. A BRS is basically a summary of the banking. See, the passbook is created by the bankers. The bank prepares it. And the cash book is basically only the bank column which the accountant prepares. The accountant prepares it for us, right? So in this case, the correct answer is to find the differences. It's not about finding the anything else to correct the cash book, correct the passbook. No, we do not go and correct the things. We just know that there's a difference and we need to sort it out. So we just go and find out why is there a difference. Question number 4, it says the interest charged by the bank but not recorded in the cash book. But if the balance as per the passbook is given, then, now this is a point again related to the passbook where they say that interest charged by the bank but not recorded in the cash book. So that means okay, on a very general note, what happens is we do not come to know, I have never come to know that the bank has deducted my money for ATM charges or the bank charges in any case. Till the time I don't update my passbook, or I don't take out my bank statement, till that time I have no clue what is happening with the interest charged, right? So in this case, what happens is the passbook tells me about it later on. So when I find it out, what will happen? Is it the amount is added to the bank statement, amount is deducted from the bank statement, then we have amount is added in the cash book, or amount is deducted from the cash book. So let's understand this point in a very simple manner. So what happens is, this is my cash book and this is my passbook. The balance as per passbook is given. Now the balance as per passbook is given. The passbook is given up. Passbook says that I want to reach out to cash book. They're making a reconciliation now. So kind of you can understand in a simple way that cash book and passbook are two friends who are fighting. Now at this point of time, they have a difference of opinion. The passbook reaches out to the cash book and says, okay, whatever the cash book says, that is final. In this case, whatever the cash book should do, passbook will do the same thing. What is happening in this case? Interest is charged by the bank but not recorded in the cash book. So passbook said that we have lost rupees 100, do you know? Because of the bank charges. And the cash book said, no, I have no clue about it. So now the passbook is going to reconcile with cash book and will say, okay, even I don't know about it. So what I'll do here is that they will deduct this particular amount from their side. But the point is, this is basically deducted from the passbook. So the cash book, okay, we are preparing the cash book, right? So in this case, what will happen is, if the cash book is saying that we have no clue, passbook has already deducted it. Passbook thought that we have lost 100 rupees. So the cash book said, no, we haven't. So in this case, it will have to nullify the effect and will add it back. That is the basic reason it is written as amount added back. That's correct. Okay, let me just show it from the handstands as well. This is what we used to do in terms of learning it. That means whatever, this is always my cash book and this is my passbook. So what happens is, when the passbook says that we have deducted the amount, the passbook says we have lost 100 rupees, we have lost 100 rupees. Cash book says I have no clue. So now the passbook will go back to cash book. So this is the case where it would be added back again. You'll always have to remember, are you following the cash book or are you following the passbook? Whatever area you want to follow, all the transactions shall be done according to that. We are following the cash book here, so we'll be doing whatever the cash book says. Blindly, the passbook will reach out to the cash book in this case. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. An account having a credit balance in the general ledger will be classified as an expense, then an asset, a liability, or all of the above. We are having a credit balance in the trial balance, or you can say in the terms of general ledger. This is basically from ledger there. An asset account, an expense account, a liability, or all of the above. Credit balance. The nominal accounts do not carry any balances. The nominal accounts like nominal accounts like expenses, like sales, that is income. For example, rent received. These accounts are clearly closed by the end of the year. There is no balance to carry for the next year. So those areas which have a continuation are either liabilities, number one. It can either be capital, number two, and it can either be assets, number three. Assets have debit balances, capitals have credit balances, and liabilities have credit balances. So in this case, what particular area matches? That is C. That means the correct answer here would be C, a liability account. Okay, the next point. The difference between the totals of debit side and the total of credit side of ledger is known as. Is it known as a deficit? Is it known as a debit balance, credit balance, or credit balance? Now this point is basically a little trickier question. It's a very basic question. What happens is, what happens in this case is that we have a debit side. Say we have 20,000 on the debit side and 30,000 on the credit side. So what here we'll do is we'll find out what is the balance on the credit side. 30,000 and the balancing figure will be shown here, right? The process of balancing the ledger, that particular thing is balance. It is actually known as the balance. So we just balance it out. That means 30 is equal to 30. The credit is equal to the debit side. This is particularly called debit balance. But now the cool thing about this is, I find it quite cool. I was like, okay, what do we exactly do here? So let me just give you a particular brief about that as well. If the debit balance is more, in this case, the credit side was more. this balance of 10,000, though shown on the debit side, but since the credit side is more, it would be known as a credit balance. And if vice versa thing would have been there, then it would have been called a debit balance. Reason, that means we have more on the credit side, and even if we remove 20,000, we still have more on the credit side. 10,000 is still there, that means it's a credit balance there. Right, the correct answer is C, balance. Now let's move on to the next question. Which of the following transactions would have no impact on the stockholders' equity? If we talk about the equity, that is the amount which a particular person invests in the company. That means that particular amount is equity, then that is the owner's capital in the organization, which will not impact purchase of the land from the proceeds of the bank loan, then dividends to stockholders, net loss or investment of cash by stockholders. Investment is basically going to increase the scenario. Then if there is a loss, then the equity will decrease. With the inception of, or with the coming of the dividends into the accounts, it will also increase. The purchase of land from the bank loan, one particular liability now being used to for an asset. So what is happening here? We have the money in the bank on the asset side. We have money in the bank. Now we take the money out of the bank and now put it in the land. So it's just the reclassification of a certain asset. This will not make a difference in the equity. The amount in the business remains the same. So in this case, the correct answer is purchase of land from the proceeds of the bank loan. Next question. Dividend not paid on the cumulative preference shares is shown under which head? Is it the share capital? Is it the current liabilities or non-current liabilities, or none of the above? With the dividend which is not paid on cumulative preference shares. The dividend which is not paid on the cumulative shares is basically something that we'll be paying off later on, right? So when we talk about this, number one, non-cumulative means we are not supposed to pay, we are not bound to pay. On cumulative, we are okay, this is cumulative now. If it is about the cumulative preference shares, it would be none of the above. The reason behind this is that in terms of the shares, see what has happened is sometimes the organization faces loss and then it has profit. There's always an uncertainty in receiving the income. Now the problem arises that we had promised this preference shareholder that if we are not able to pay money to you, cumulative preference shares, who are the cumulative preference shares holders? These are those people we promised them that when we'll make money, we'll accumulate that particular time where we couldn't we couldn't pay you the dividend. So when there was an inability to pay the dividend, now we'll make up for it and we'll pay you the remaining amount. So in this case, we do not have a certainty. Basically, when we talk about the cumulative preference shares, it is basically shown on the contingent liability. It's not basically something where we put it on the current liabilities. It is shown as the liabilities and commitments in the notes to accounts. This is an exceptional case because we are not bound to pay at that point of time, right? Because there might be losses in future. So basically, it's just a commitment at this point that we have committed that we'll pay. In any case, even when we fall, we'll pay. Now, question number 9. Compensation paid to the workers under voluntary retirement scheme. When we talk about the voluntary retirement scheme, what is it exactly about? One particular person leaving the organization before time. So if the person is leaving the organization before time, then we make a payment to them. Na? So that is basically a capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, capital receipt, or revenue receipt. Compensation which is paid to the workers under voluntary retirement scheme, VRS, is when we make an early payment. So when we are making an early payment for those areas, when we are making an early payment for our expenses, or it's again an expense, We pay salaries. This time we are paying it before time. For the tenure that particular person is not working, so we'll be just making it before time. It's just a revenue expenditure. Even if the nature seems to be very different, it doesn't matter. This particular amount will always be a revenue expenditure because there's no increase in terms of the generating capacity. Again, revenue generating capacity is something which will is increased or enhanced by the assets. It is not enhanced by anything else. Now let's move on to the next question. The last question is Messrs. New Delhi Finance Co. Company sold certain goods on installment basis. Five customers did not pay the installments. To recover such outstanding expenses, the firm spent 10,000 on account of legal expenses. We wanted the people pay us the money. So what happened is, to recover the money, we had to make an effort because people didn't pay in time. This happens with the organizations. When you make any credit sales, sometimes the debtor might not be able to pay you in time. So then you have to ask some factors. So basically that is called factoring, or you can hire some people, or you can actually just go and sue them and then ask them to pay the money. In this case, in order to recover your money, you also have to shell out more money. So that means you would have paid 10,000 to the lawyers who are paying it. So then in this case, what will happen? If we'll be paying that particular amount, is it going to be the capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, capital receipt, or revenue receipt? This particular amount will be exactly a revenue receipt. This is not enhancing your asset. It's just the regular amount that you pay in order to recover your money. This is not increasing our earning capacity. It's just maintaining it where we are. So this is basically a revenue expenditure. So this is where I end my session. If you're looking forward to anything regarding the JAIB classes, all you can do is you can visit our website. So let me just give you a brief about it, where you can go and find it out. You can visit our website, or you can also look forward to our um, you can also look forward to our app that will help you to understand what kind of the subjects we are providing in terms of the JAIB and CAIB examination, as well as the entire courses are also there. That means you can find out JAIB CIB Mahapak, where there would be both of these, and then we have the November December 2022 bilingual batch going on. Then English batch is also there. Then bilingual CAIIB and November December English is also there. So you can look forward to or any of these examinations as per as any of these packs as per your requirement. All you can do is you can check it out here. So for example, I've opened up the English area and I've just opened up for the November 2022. So here you can go and use the code. You can click on the area of buy now and use the code Y541, and there you will get a discount of 77%. This will increase if you are using the website, if you're using the app. In app you will get another 1% of discount, and if you have gathered any of the coins, that particular amount can also be used. So for AFB you will have to pay 1494.77, which can be reduced further if you are doing it from the app. So kindly go ahead and check out the details. 77% discount is available on the code of Y541. So do not lose this opportunity to avail it at this price. And the validity for this particular AFB batch is 6 months, and you can also look forward to the 12 months as per your requirement. The validity can be taken up by you. This one is only for 6 months, so you can take up it for 6 months. The classes are defined here. The classes timings are clearly stated about, and also the study plan is also there, which I was talking about, that the study plan will help you to understand what you need to do and how we are covering up the entire syllabus, and you can plan your studies accordingly. So for further details you can check out our website for any further details. So just keep an eye on the website for the batches which are upcoming now. This batch has started on 16th of August. Now we are just about to start with another, this batch is coming up on 16th of August. So the batches which are currently going on are still there, but you can look forward to the live batch which is just coming on 16th of August, which is again an English batch. So kindly visit our website for further details.